Once again, hello everybody and welcome to you. This is the first video online with you again after a very long absence. I will be waiting for the others to come, but whenever anybody comes, please try to check whether the audio is working well and also the light and the picture is well. First of all, I want to say sorry about today's video in the morning. Actually, the network was terrible. I don't know what's going on. After I recorded the video, I found out that the network wasn't working well. That's why I felt so sad about it, and I sent many messages to say sorry for the bad network and so on. Today I will start with the first topic that I told you about. Maybe the topic will take maybe 2 or 3 or maybe more meetings between me and you. As I said, I will start talking with a lot of topics related to our life, our daily basis, okay? So my topic today, I write some notes by the way, about how to start a conversation with a stranger. I'm not going to tell you what to say exactly. I'm not going to say, for example, say hello, hi, how are you, how's it going, and so on. No, I'm not talking about that. And I know actually a lot of my, a lot of my colleagues, my teachers, they put a lot of things on their pages about teaching English and so on. So I'm not here to teach English. Again, maybe you have all the sources related to that, but I'm going to talk about psychologically when you start talking to a person that you never seen before. First of all, it says here, number 1, make eye contact before you approach. Make eye contact. Yes, of course, eyes are the basic thing. When you talk to someone for the first time, you should keep an eye on his eye. Actually, not just one eye. Yeah, keep your eyes in front of his eyes, okay? And, that way, of course, you open the discussion by your eyes, because eyes is number 1 in this process. Some people say you should keep your eyes towards the other person, not less than 2 seconds, for example. Maybe more than that, 2 or 3 or 5 seconds. At first, you should look at him. Imagine you are on the transportation, maybe on a train or on a plane or whatever. So you should, number 1, look at the person and find out whether he is able to start a conversation with you or not. Because as you know, the body language plays a great thing in our life, because as I said in this video today, I start reading a book about body language. Okay, I started this book, and of course, it's very big. So I just finished the first chapter of this book. What I really noticed very important from this book or from this chapter, that we should know what people say without they say. What do people say without they say? Of course, I want to know how they say something without they say it. Of course, by their body language. Imagine yourself going to start talking to someone for the first time, and he's, crossing his arms like this. He's standing over there, looking around, for example, and crossing his arms like this. So, of course, he doesn't give you an opportunity to start talking to. He is closed. Okay, he is closed. So if he crosses his arms like this, so this is not a good idea to start talking to this person. And nowadays, we all crazy about cell phones, by the way. On the transportation, for example, on the train or whatever, you find some people just playing games with their cell phones, and they feel very nervous and irritated when somebody comes to interrupt them. So what happens if you want to start talking to someone and he plays with his smartphone? Of course, it's a bad idea. he will feel so terrible with you, of course. So I think we should avoid people like that. So back to what I wrote here. Actually, you know, I write everything before coming to you because I read articles and I try to take notes to share with you. The first note, as I said, again, make eye contact before you approach. As I said, 2 seconds is the least, okay? You should look at this person and he looks or she looks at you at first. If you and him or them look at you, look at each other, for example, for 2 or more than seconds, okay? So it would be a good idea to take the next step to talk. So what is the next step? It says examine the person's body language. Yeah, for example, if the person looking at you, he gives you his or her front body like this, of course he is open. He says, I am open to start the discussion with you. But if he, for example, moves aside, or maybe his arms or his leg or foot, you know, in another direction away from you, another side away from you, it means he is not ready to talk to you. He is not ready to talk to you. So you should avoid that, okay? The body language say that. So examine the person's body language. For example, as I said, if you see him, for example, crossing his arms like this, that means he's not able to talk to you, or maybe he is overthinking about something. He is not in the mood to start talking to a new person. So you should avoid him in this moment. I want to say hello for all the people watching me right now. Yes, welcome to everybody. Please, I want you to comment and say hello. I want to mention your names as I used to do. And step by step, you will come back, of course, to be with me. I will host you to be online, but please comment and don't forget the hearts and the thumbs up to let the other people watch this video. We need to spread the video as usual, guys. Don't forget, please, to thumbs up and give me hearts, okay, if you like this video, if you like me to continue. So examine the person's body language. Of course, if he's busy doing something, if he's busy with his smartphone, busy talking to his family, for example, he is distracted with other things. For example, he is watching the road, he's watching the street, or he's watching the people going by or something. So it's not a good idea to start talking to this person. Okay, so a lot of things gives you the message. A lot of things give you the message that you're not going to move forward to this person. After that, number 3, if this person give you the chance, if his body language says that he or she is ready to start talking to you, okay, if he is open enough to let you talk to him, you should start a small talk. You should start a small talk. Like what? In the past and in the movies, if you remember, when a man and a woman were on the train, for example, the man used to ask her a question like, what's the time now, or something? What time is it? Okay, but I think this question is a bit old-fashioned nowadays, because we all have cell phones, and as you know, it's easy to turn on your cell phone and watch the time. So we can skip this question. It's not a very cool question, of course. We can skip that. But there are other questions, like, for example, or small talk. I mean, small talk, like, for example, talking about the weather. Yeah, weather. You know, weather is the best topic to start talking about. For example, you can say, I can't believe it. It's so hot in here. The opposite, I can't believe it. It's raining all the time. I can't believe it. You know, it's very cold. And you can offer something after that. When you say, I can't believe it's very hot in here, what do you think if I open the door or open the window? Okay, when it's very cold, what do you think if I close the window or something? Okay, so talking about the weather is a great thing, and I think it will not be an old-fashioned like, what time is it, or what's the time now? Finally, in part one of this videos about this topic, because I will take maybe 2 or 3 parts talking about that. The fourth thing today is ask open-ended question to learn more about the person. If this person gives you the chance to talk to him or her, okay, you should ask him, as we say, open-ended question. What does it mean, open-ended question? You give him a question and ask him or her about his or her opinion, okay? For example, process number 3 or step number 3, you asked her about the weather, for example. She said, oh yeah, the weather is bad today, yeah, stuff like that. After that, you should try to, give her an open-ended question. Like, for example, if you were in a grocery store, let's imagine, if you were in a grocery store and you want to start talking to someone shopping with you, okay, what is the best thing to start talking about? An open-ended question. Open-ended question, like what? For example, you look at the food, kind of food, and say, what do you think about this kind of food? Is it fresh? Is it good? Have you ever tried this food before? Okay. What about the validity? Is it expired, or what do you think? I've never tested this kind of food before. So what do you think? Okay. So you should mention this sentence. What do you think? What do you think? After you ask the question, you say, what do you think? What do you think is an open-ended question, and it opens discussion, a very big discussion, because every person, when you talk to at the first time, it's a great idea to respect him, to respect his or her ideas, okay? So he will feel very comfortable if you ask him, what do you think? Okay, because I want to listen to your idea. Of course, he will feel comfortable, relaxed, talking to you, and the discussion will start. Actually, that's all for today, today's video about how to start a conversation with a stranger. I will review the 4 points quickly. Number 1, make eye contact not less than 2 seconds, okay? Number 2, examine or test the body language for the other person. Don't go to any person looking up ahead or looking around, okay? Or maybe this person is distracted with something, looking at the road, looking at the people, looking at something. He's not looking at you, so this is not a good idea to start talking to. But number 3, try to make a small talk. If this person gives you the chance to start talking to him, okay, make a small talk if you wanted to build a conversation. Small talk, as I said before, you can talk about the weather, for example. As you know, the weather is changeable. When it's very hot, you say, oh, I can't believe it, the weather is terrible. It's very hot. It has been hot for over 3 days, for example. I think it's a heat wave or something. So in this point, the other person will say, yeah, the weather is very terrible. You can offer something. What do you think if I open the window? What do you think if I close the window? What do you think if I turn on the air conditioner or something? Okay, this is a good idea. Finally, ask open-ended question, and this is the most important thing. Hi, Mirvat, welcome to you, my dear, welcome. Try to ask open-ended questions, okay? Like what I said, every person, when you meet for the first time, you should give him the opportunity to speak, okay? It's not a good idea, you just speak, okay? You should let him speak. How can I let him speak to me? I can ask him some open-ended questions like, what do you think? If I am in a grocery store, for example, and I mentioned this example, if I am in a grocery store, I can start talking to the stranger by, what do you think about this weather? About this food. Is it a good food? Have you ever tried it? Have you ever tasted it? Okay, so these are the first 4 points about that. Thank you very much for watching, and wait for me tomorrow in another video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.